So good morning, learner. Welcome to today's science lesson. We will continue from where we left about levers, and we are just been classifying those levers according to the three classes I gave you: first class levers, second class levers, and third class levers. Just to remind you, there's a formula that you can be able to use. If you want to classify levers, you use what we call a flea. Flea means that this is a first class lever. First class, where the fulcrum is at the center. In second class lever, you find that load is at the center. And in that class lever, you realize that effort is at the center. So these are the centers. The centers. So in the first class lever, the fulcrum is at the center. Second class levers, the load is at the center. Third class levers, the effort is at the center. So we are going to group now levers according to this class. So we are going to begin with the first class levers. First class levers. And where possible, I'm going to demonstrate using diagrams. So in first class levers, we have like what we call claw hammer. Claw hammer. You are going to realize that claw hammer is going to be found in two classes, as we're going to see. Now, how does a claw hammer look like, Lana? A claw hammer looks like this. You've seen one at home. So this is what we call a claw hammer. So when a claw hammer is used to remove nails. Let's see what is removing nails. Removing nails from a piece of wood. You want to remove nails from a piece of wood. So the nail is there. So you want to remove it. So the nail becomes the rod, and this is a rotating part. So this becomes the fulcrum. And then where you play the effort, here, Lana, this becomes your effort. You're going to push the hammer like this downward so that you can remove this piece of wood. So if you realize, look at this claw hammer. We are saying first class levers, the fulcrum is at the center. You can clearly see that load, fulcrum, effort. So load, fulcrum, effort. So fulcrum is at the center, so that's the first class lever. Another lever that is in that same class is a crowbar. Crowbar. And a crowbar, I told you, is a simple machine that is used to lift objects from down using a piece of wood and as a support, can have a stone or even a piece of wood. So a crowbar looks like this. That is a crowbar. So the load is at that point. This becomes the fulcrum. Sometimes you can write just like F or L. It's no problem. And this becomes the effort. So this is going to be found in the same class, that is first class. So for you to be able to make work easier, how does this make work easier? If you increase the part, we have X, Y, and Z. So for you to make work easier, you need to increase this YZ, the part YZ must be longer. If you want to make work easier, you want to use less effort, ensure that the point from the fulcrum to where you have effort is a bit longer compared to the point from fulcrum to the load. So therefore we say the point from fulcrum to effort is called the effort distance. The effort distance, for you to make work easier using a crowbar, the effort distance must be longer than the load distance. Load distance is the distance from the the fulcrum to the load. This distance must be short, so that this one becomes longer. Anytime this one is longer and this one is short, you are going to make work easier. You are going to work with a lot of ease. But if you bring this here, you bring that here, the amount of effort you are going to use here, so that you can lift this stone, is going to be very much. Because we have reduced the point the effort distance from here to here. Effort distance is always from the fulcrum to the effort. You just look at where the effort is and where the fulcrum is. That distance is called the effort distance. So if this one becomes smaller, meaning that the load distance, which is from the fulcrum to the load becomes longer. You can see it has become longer. So when the load distance is longer than the effort distance, the work becomes much difficult. I mean harder for you to be able to complete. So this must always be here, so that this distance is bigger. Then another one random in that class is a pair of scissors. Pair of scissors. I demonstrated in our previous lesson where we drew a pair of scissors. That is a pair of. Here is the rotating point, which is the fulcrum. The load is what the air. The air we are cutting, and the effort we are applying here. So this becomes a first class lever. In that class also we have what we call a pliers. A pliers just looks like this. I don't need to draw that. Pliers looks like this. So this one will look like this. Will appear to look like this. So this is the pliers. This one is the first class lever. We have also, the other one is beam balance and seesaw. Beam balance. Beam balance. And lastly, we have seesaw. All these are in first class levers. We have a number of them. You can add some other more. We have first class levers. Of course, we have divide the two, the crowbar, and many others maybe that we're going to see. So let's take the second class levers. Second class levers. The second class levers. Second class. Examples of second class levers. Remember our fleet. In our second class levers known is at the center. And so we're talking about a wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow. A wheelbarrow, a simple one, you just draw like this. So the load is here. Load. It's very, very important that you know how to name them. The fulcrum is the rotating point. Where you're applying the effort is this point. And the effort is applying upwards, and this comes downwards. Sometimes you see it drawn like this, then you ask what type of machine is this. Later you can be able to say effort load. This machine is a second class lever because the effort goes downwards and the effort goes upwards and the load goes downwards. So this is an example of a wheelbarrow. You can also have some others like bottle opener. Bottle opener is the same class. When you have your bottle top there, that is the bottle. The opener looks like this. So this, where it touches at the bottom, because this is the one that will remove the bottle top. So this becomes the load. And then where are you holding? You are holding here to apply your effort. So that becomes the effort. Then this up part, which touches the bottom top at the top, this becomes the fulcrum. So that's why you're saying the load is the center, and so this is a second class lever. We have another one like that one I'll be able to demonstrate to you later on. But we have the door inches. Door inches. Door inches. Now in the door inches, you have the door here. The inches are those things that make the door rotate, which are on the frame. So for you, you just push here. So what you are pushing, this is you are pushing this point. So the load is this whole thing. The door becomes the load. So the load is at the center. You are pushing at that point. This becomes the effort. And fulcrum is a rotating point. So F is there. Look at the fulcrum where it is. The load is at the center. Because the load is the door, you don't push a door at the center. You push always at this side, on one side. So that one side is where you apply your effort. The load is at the center. what is being pushed, and the effort are the load hinges, which the ones that rotate. I'll be able to demonstrate that in our next lesson. Then we have also, of course, nutcracker. Nutcracker. A nutcracker looks like this. There's a spring here, then another part. So the nut is in between here, whether it's a ground nut or whatever it is, or even a coconut. So you want to break it. You want to push. So where do you push? You push this side to come inside. So that part and that part come inside. So the effort is applied there. So you push like this. And so what are you pushing? This is a load. What is the work that you are doing? And then this spring here is the one that rotates. So this becomes the fulcrum. That becomes the fulcrum. That's why we're saying the load is at the center, and therefore this one becomes a second class lever. Learner, we have so many of them. We have a pair of tongs. I'll explain to you where it belongs. A pair of tongs can be able to classify it in any class that we'll find it in. A pair of tongs looks like this, just like that thing that you use to be able to pick some kachumbari when you go for wedding or even when you're in celebrations. So you use this part to pick. So this part, it becomes the load. At the back here, there's a spring here. So this becomes the fulcrum. And where are you holding, Lana? You are holding your hands at this position. So this becomes the fulcrum. So if you look at this, so it becomes the effort. So in this class, you find that that is going to be a third class lever. So many others I'll be able to explain in that class. So let's go to the last class, that is third class lever. And we are going to just begin with what I've just talked about. That is a pair of tongs, third class levers. Third class levers, we have number one, pair of tongs. Why are we calling them pair? Lana, there are two. Pair of tongs look like this. So here, there's a spring here. Pair of tongs. So this is where you pick using. So the part that you pick using, that becomes the load. Where do you press? You press in between so that you can be able to pick. So you press in between like this. So this becomes the effort. And this is a rotating part. So this becomes the fulcrum. You can also talk about tweezers. Tweezers is the same class. Learner, when you are maybe you are running and you're hit by a nail or something gets into your foot. The doctor will pick something and try to move it using like this. That's what we call a pair of tweezers. So the other one is called, talk about fishing rod. I showed you what a fishing rod is. Fishing rod, which looks like this. The thread is there. Then our fish is definitely at this point. Our fish is there. So this fish becomes the load. Where are you holding I told you the effort you are applying on this side, this part. So this will have the effort. And this becomes the fulcrum. The hand which just rotates. That controls the movement of the fishing rod. So if you look at this fulcrum, the fulcrum, effort, and then load. Loads here. So this is third class level. We also have spade. I know what a spade is. You have used it so many times at home. A spade is a simple one. And draw it like this. Then here, this is where you hold the rotating part. So this becomes the fulcrum. This is the rotating part. Where do you apply your effort, Lana? Here in between. So this becomes effort. And then what you are scooping here in the soil, so that becomes the fulcrum. So you can see the effort is at the center. Fulcrum is a load. Fulcrum is where you are holding the back arm, just same as this one here, same as fishing rod. The back arm, that becomes the fulcrum. And then the center where you are applying your effort becomes the effort, and what you are scooping is the Lord. So much for that. Can also talk about the forearm. Forearm is this one here. Now if you are lifting something, it becomes the Lord. The rotating part is this end. You can see, comes the fulcrum, and then the effort is at this end, where you are applying, where the muscles are. This is where you have the effort. So talk about here, number 5, forearm. Forearm, so in that class. Also, the human foot is also in the same class. So Lana, we've been able to classify that, but I promised you before I go that we'll see armor, where armor belongs. Hammer, we have hammer when driving in nails, when removing nails, we say the hammer is in which class? Lana, this second class, because Lord is here, fulcrum is in between. So we'll talk about first class. When removing nails. Now when driving in nails, let's see Lana. This is the claw hammer. That is the claw hammer. The nails are going to be driven in using this part. So this part becomes the Lord. You able to see that, Lana? Where are you holding? You are holding at this point. So this is where you are applying your effort. Your effort is being applied there. And then, which is the rotating part, Lana? Look at my hand. This part, which is on this, we are assuming that is the hand. So this part becomes the fulcrum. It's very tricky, Lana. Look at it well. Lord, this part that drives in the nail becomes the Lord. Where are you holding? You are holding at this part, so that becomes the effort. But the rotating part is, so the arm is on this side. Lord, where you are holding is here, effort. And the rotating part is at the back part. So that becomes the fulcrum. So that becomes, which class is this, Anna? Effort is at center. So we are saying this is also a third class. So number 6, we have claw hammer. But now we write when driving in nails. You'll be asked, this is the question in class 8, that hammer belongs in 2 classes. Which one and which one? First class and third class. First class and third class levels. So hammer is going to be found, a claw hammer is going to be found in 2 classes, first class and third class. So until next time, Dana, I want you to copy these notes very well. Don't just draw like I've done here. I want you to draw so nicely. Mark the points and label them well as it's supposed to be labeled, and forward that work to me for me to be able to see it and mark it at the most appropriate time. I know we have to discuss that paper that I gave you. It's a very crucial paper that I gave you. I wanted to see you those things that I'm teaching you right now, and you can be able to see them on the paper. So I'll find time within the week so that you can be able to revise them and have correction on those questions that maybe you miss. So until next time, Lana, I want to wish you well. May God bless you as you continue doing all this work and as you continue doing the other work given by the teachers. God bless you.